Hello, I'm Morfydd Clark and I am Galadriel.
I'm Charlie Vickers and I am Halbrand in The Lord of the Rings, The Rings of Power.
Galadriel is an Eldorian elf who was born in Valinor and saw the birth of the two trees. And everything, yeah. She's older than the moon, and at the moment she is endeavouring to uncover some evil that no one else seems to believe is there, but she knows.
And Halbrand is just a man. No, he is. He is from the Southlands in Middle-earth, and he's at a point in his life where he is, I guess, trying to put his past behind him and begin a new adventure. He encounters Galadriel on a raft in the middle of the Sundering Seas, and then lots of things happen from then on.
Yeah, our home for many weeks.
Yes.
How you prepare to play an elf, it depends on what kind of elf you are as well. Some elves don't engage in warfare, for example, which allows them to have other types of abilities. In my case, I do play an elf that engages in warfare, and I'm a warrior, a skilled archer and skilled fighter. And how you prepare for that is many days and months of training. For my role for Arondir, I wanted to create something special and an original movement vocabulary. So I train in several martial arts, including Taekwondo, Kung Fu, Wushu, and I grounded it all in an Afro-Brazilian martial art of capoeira, which is very, very important to bring as part of that movement language.
And wire work.
Oh, and all the wire work. If you have seen it, you would have seen me doing a lot of jumps and flying.
Guys, he's so good. So good. The things I did to prepare for Bronwyn, you may not know, but she's actually like a quiet assassin. You don't look at her and think she's physically strong. I love that. I love when you can't see someone's strength coming, that they're the underdog, that they're unassuming, and then out of nowhere, they do something kind of spectacular, or they tap into an inner strength.
If there are any of you here who want to live, we make for the Elven Tower at first light.
So I did a lot of strength training, stunts training for a particular scene in episode 2 that is really cool. I'm really, really excited to share with you. But on top of that, there were like herb and potion making classes that I took, how to make like pumice and various things that Bronwyn would use as a healer. I tapped into my medical background because I was pre-med. I tapped into my own work as an activist because Bronwyn wants to liberate her people. I referenced Cold Mountain, Renee Zellweger's role in particular, because Bronwyn is so grounded and of the earth, and she has that everyday hero strength that you don't see coming, right? She's just sort of like there out of nowhere, becomes sort of a fierce protector of her son, and also like a lot of Sigourney Weaver action movies.
I love how grounded the Southlanders are. They're really in touch with nature, and they have dirt under their fingernails, and they work. They work on the land. Their physicality is very grounded, which I found really useful, and it was a really useful tool from which to begin the exploration of character, begin that process.
So I think what I love about Elven culture is their relationship to beauty and the beauty of nature. And obviously that was amazing because we were in New Zealand when we were filming it and we were surrounded by beauty.
I love that the Southlanders are resilient and they've sort of had to rebuild and are trying to prove themselves and overcome adversity.
Well, as an elf, I love the relationship with time. You know, these beings are eternal unless, you know, they get killed in specific circumstances, but they are eternal. So these people get to see the flow of nature, the rising and falling of things, the death and the birth and death of other beings. So I do love that's like a spiritual concept, but I also think the ears are so cool. And the fact that they can see for miles, and the fact that they can hear, they have very acute hearing as well.
I'm so jealous I don't have superpowers.
Yeah, I'm sorry about that.